It's on air. I'm just trying to get the YouTube.
Okay.
We can go.
Yep.
We'll call to order the regular city council meeting for Monday, December 9th. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any changes to our agenda?
Nope. I will kind of guide us through it a little bit and how it would go with the budget presentation, and we'll do that after the public hearing. So that's what we're going to do first to start it up. The public hearing is for both of the topics there, not only the adopting of the final tax levy for 2025, but also the approval of the budget.
Okay.
Motion to approve is written.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we'd like to open up the public hearing right now for, like Jeff said, the adopting of the final tax levy and also the approval of the budget. Anybody in the audience like to talk about something about this? No, don't see anybody.
Close her down.
All right, we'll close that public hearing and
Okay.
we'll call for some.
And that's what we'll do now. We'll go through the budget, answer some questions to the council, and what you have in front of you. Tyler worked really hard on this. Probably half of it while I was gone. So
Thank you, Tyler.
we have the 2025 budget there that we'll go through, and then you've got a full copy of it also that you can take with you. That is just a printed copy of everything. If you want to go through that and have some light reading at night, you're more than welcome.
Put you right to sleep.
So go ahead, Tyler.
All right. So 2025 budget. First, we have an overview, revenue, expenditures, other sources and uses, and what the net change in the fund balance is for 2025. And as you can see, overall, the net change, we're going to be increasing. But that does take into account the use of fund balance. We're going to be using $605,000 from the ineligibles fund that was left over from the street projects. And we're also going to be using about $154,000, I want to say, from the hospital fund. And so in fact, when you take into account the use of fund balance, we are going to be going backwards slightly. And that was due in large part to the decision to use the funds that were designated for SCADA this year for Bollig Engineering next year to pursue funding efforts with Bollig. And then also large capital assets budget for next year. And excuse me. Sorry. And so overall, we will be going slightly backwards, but it was planned for. It's money that was going to be spent this year on SCADA, and it never was, and now we're going to be spending it next year.
It's money that we had to spend anyway. We had to get rid of it for the SCADA, and we just reallocated it to looking for more money instead. So it was our money, but we had to do something with it this year.
So, I mean, there's a lot there. If you look through it, general taxes, that's our property taxes mainly. Licenses and permits, things like animal permits, business permits, be able to sell alcohol, plumbers licenses, all that. Intergovernmental revenue, grants, LGA, and I mean, I could keep going, but you guys have a pretty good idea. Are there any questions there on the revenues or expenditures?
I do want to bring up to the council that we're going to be approving the fee schedule. I've seen it done in December, and I've also seen it done in January before, looking back at the other ones. So we're going to do that in the first or the second week or the meeting in January. There's a couple more things that we looked at that possibly need some changes. Anything drastic, we would send it out ahead of time. But there's a couple things that we don't know yet. So we'd like to, instead of going through and approving it and having to make an amendment, we'll just go ahead and approve it in January.
Tyler, could you explain why are the special assessment revenues more than budgeted?
Due to people paying off their, like the 3A and the Center Street projects, we had a lot of people decide to pay it off instead of having to pay the interest annually this year. So, yep, it was a lot higher than budgeted.
Yeah, but the interest wasn't really that high. It kind of surprises me, wasn't it?
4% or 4.4%, I think is what it was.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions? That was a good one. It was quite a bit different. All right, continuing on to the general fund budget. So we'll just be barely squeaking by with a $741 net change in fund balance. And I mean, there's a lot I could talk about there, but are there any questions about maybe like what a category is or why a certain number is a certain way, or if you guys are okay, we can just keep going on.
You changed the third column there from 2024 of actual to expected. That's kind of an estimate, is what it's going to be. And we'll have a report on what the actual budget is, not only in the audit and everything else, but we'll also have that in 2025, what the actuals are.
Yeah. And Tyler, the expected intergovernment revenue, that's the state funding essentially, and that was an increase in the formula, correct?
Well, it was, yes, the budgeted amount increased quite a bit because they gave us more, yes.
Yeah, the LGA.
Yep.
Local government aid. Okay.
All right. Moving on. Debt service. We've seen this a million times, but it's exciting that this coming year is the highest one, and then 2026 will be going down and have a little more wiggle room, either for projects or to save for future street projects. So that's exciting to see.
It'll be the first time that we can actually say that we could go ahead and bond for something. I mean, you'll see that, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit at the far bottom of the agenda. Looking at, we had a meeting with the state legislature and state representative and DOMS, and we were kind of on the same page with them, and they gave us some advice on what to do. It's kind of the same thing that we've already talked about, but it was just it was nice to hear it out of their mouths without us dragging it out of them. They brought it up on what we should do, and it's basically with this building with the state bonding, and then we'll take a look at in the next couple of years what we're going to be able to do with some more street projects too. Because I think Tyler and I talked about this extensively last week about at the end of 25, I do believe that we're going to be able to really see a path that we're on. Because we're already increasing. We did a good job of increasing the water, the sewer, and what we needed to do to get caught back up. But then we're going to be able to see at the end of 25 what we need to do for future. But I'm really curious, or we're really curious to see what's going to end up in the sewer fund and the water fund at the end of 25. It will really put things, I think, a lot more clearer to us.
How come the end of 25 is going to look so great when it's only like $100,000 different?
It's $100,000.
A lot of money, Pam, to some of us.
So if you put that into any kind of bond, that you wanted to street first, that could be our share a year to a large grant, something that hopefully that Bolly's going to be able to find for us. So
Like our portion of
yes,
it?
our portion of it. That, and then as you look and this will be the last time you'll hear it from me for a while anyway, but then you look at the end of 2028, and then together those two will, that's $300,000 between the two of them. Now, if you look onward, it's quite a long ways out, 2032 till it drops again, because we've got plenty of bills out there that are running 40 years right now.
Okay, I got one more question for you. So on the overview, it says that our intergovernmental revenue is like 2.9, but on the general fund budget, Does the rest of it go someplace else? It's
So
only
the-
1.1.
Most of, a huge chunk of the intergovernmental revenue is for the airport, for that hangars, the hangars that are going
So
up.
that'll be someplace else down here?
We won't look at the airport. It's in the budget if you want to look at it. It's towards the back.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Well, and it is, but it's a good question though, because it's, for me, it is really confusing because all the money that, you know, a lot of it we're putting up front, you know, we're gonna be taking out one loan, I think it's 138,000.
Yep.
Loan is the only thing they're gonna be taking out for the airport projects. And that's gonna get paid off over 20 years at 0% interest. To the point where if you don't want to mess with it anymore, you just pay the stinking thing off. But at 0%, you know, why do it? But that's the only thing. But a lot of the work that's getting done is we're having to, and it's going to come from state grants, federal grants, but those take a long time to come in. So there'll be more times this year that we, over the next 2 years, that we'll actually get money back from that we've already paid it out.
So if you wanted to see the detail for the airport, it's on page 97 in the budget, and it's $1,050,000 in intergovernmental revenue for the airport hangars next year.
Look at that.
All right, capital assets. We have a lot going on next year. The big one is repaving the bike path, which we're all hopeful for getting that grant, which would pay for most, if not all of it. Would it be, Jeff?
Just depends. So, just to go with that right away, we thought that paving the bike path would be about 120,000. That was kind of an estimate through a couple of phone calls that Shane had made, which is pretty darn close. But then we started looking at a particular grant, if you remember right, that we were going to be able to get, and that was not going to come in until 2027. So we were looking at doing this in 2025. And then getting reimbursed that amount in 2027. They're recommending that we don't do that now, so we're going to find out whether we're going to get that grant first, whether we're going to decide whether we're going to we'll repave the bike path this year or not. Talking to Shane, we can put some doctoring to it, but he said it will last a couple more years as long as we give it some attention this year. So we're going to find that, Val and I will find that out sometime in April or May, whether or not we're going to be able to, we're going to get that money. It's actually, we were asking $150,000 for it initially, and we actually jumped that up to $199,000 because you're dealing with, that would be a federal government grant. And with federal government grants, there's environmental studies, and all the engineering that needs to be done comes out to about $80,000. We have to ask for more money, or we might as well just do it ourselves. But we're working on that with Bollig right now, and with Val, and with Southwest Regional Development too.
So if we're working on the grant now, usually there's not 2 years you have to wait to,
This one it is. It's 2027, yeah.
that's kind of screwy.
Yep. If they won't, and if they don't feel that, if they feel that we're going to get it, we'll wait till 2027, and then that $120,000 here won't get used this year, except for maybe how much to do some $5,000 to $10,000 of it. So there's a chance that this will not get used this year.
And that's probably shooting high too.
All right, any questions on capital assets page? All right, and then next one is,
On the RV spots, is that putting water lines? Or is that just the maneuvers that we were talking about, moving and adding spaces?
Adding the spaces, but I don't know that we were putting water in those. Was that 40,000 or 20,000? I don't remember now.
Thought we were.
I thought it
Was
was.
that
I thought we were
5,000
too.
Per lot,
Back then you could do
per
it.
unit.
I didn't discuss sewer
Water and sewer.
Okay.
in some spots.
Yep.
And the $40,000 for the safe routes to school, that meeting is taking place this Friday with the school. So we went ahead and asked, I think it was a couple of you asked me if the school was going to be adding any money to that. And so we've discussed that with them, and we'll discuss it with them on Friday again.
And then there's a list of new projects that also contributed to our expenses going up a little bit this coming year. But some really good things there. Rezoning the city so that we'd actually have correct zoning. And then safe routes to school, as we already mentioned, the small cities development grant writing, that would be to get the $600,000 for the street projects, if we were able to get that, which Wally has always made it sound like a pretty sure thing. So good to keep going forward with that. And then tearing down the old houses in town that nobody lives there and need to clean that up. Transfers. So we have one from the general fund to the EDA fund, $50,000 for tearing down dilapidated houses. That second one and the last one, we're moving money from the ineligibles fund to the water fund and to the general fund. So that's that $605,000 that was left over. And the idea originally to the water fund was to use it for SCADA, and now it's up in the air a little bit since we're waiting on to see if there's a funding opportunity from Follig. And then those two in the middle, it's just the profit from garbage and from the liquor store. All right, and then the last slide here, just an idea of the changes in fund balance. So since we're getting that influx of money from Fund 401, the rest look pretty rosy. It's just the normal ones that always seem to have a drop, like the EDA fund. So 202, that's CDBG. That's like fixing up the houses in town. And the federal grant, everybody gets, is it $25,000? To fix up their houses, and then the businesses too. If they continue living there for 10 years, then that is forgiven, and they don't have to pay it back. And so it's negative because we give out loans when people are unable to pay for the entire project. We'll give out up to a $5,000 loan. So that's why that's negative. And then otherwise, everything that goes out, we get back from the federal grant. Fund 655 is the EDA fund. That's always negative because there's no revenue coming in. And then Fund 657 is the other one that's always been negative. It's the cemetery. And so we're hoping to see an improvement in that, but also at the same time not. Don't want a lot of people dying.
That's one of them that we're taking a look at for the fee schedule is the cemetery fund right now.
Yeah, but we already increased it a lot last year, so have to stay competitive. But we'll see what we can do. All right, any questions there? I mean, the water fund's through the roof, but that's in large part due to that transfer from the ineligibles fund. And that's all I've got. Hopefully I've got lots of answers if you guys have any questions.
I'm pleased to see that we've got $50,000 allocated for tearing down the dilapidated vacant housing, because when the state legislators were here the other day, they said that's one thing that's probably going to be going up, our landfill expenses down the road. So we can do those sooner rather than later. Will help.
Now, we had put a number of houses, and it was 10 or 5.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm really thinking that it will go further than that with some of the success we've had so far.
Good.
All right.
So what we need now, it would be with the first one, the resolution. So we would need a vote to for the final tax levy, as we had it preliminarily set at 4%. You can go down from there as a council tonight, or you could stay it there. You can go down 0.2, 0.5, down to 3, whatever you want to do. It's really up to you from here. We put the numbers to it, and so it's really would be at your discretion right now of what you would like to do. So we'd like a motion by somebody. If anybody's got any thoughts on that, and a second, then a vote on that, and then we'll pass the resolution also.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-106 adopting the final tax levy for 2025 fiscal year.
I'll second that.
Do we have any further discussion?
Just the resolution
At the
numbers don't
percentage,
match.
I'd like the
Yeah,
vote for the percentage
That's
first.
4%, correct?
Yep.
The numbers don't match of the resolutions.
They,
The one on the agenda is -106, the one in the packet is -112.
is it, okay. Say that again, Jerry, real quick.
On the agenda, it's 2024-106.
Yep.
But on the actual resolution, it's 2024-112.
Okay.
I might have messed that up.
That's fine, I just want to make sure.
The next one underneath that would be a 111 then.
Tyler and I's brains were on vacation last week because they had our daughter getting married. So we'll get that. We'll get that.
So
taken.
106 is 112,
Yeah.
My
right?
daughter's not getting.
107 is.
107 is 111.
Do you want me to look that up to make sure?
Well, it's. I don't think we'd have a problem putting it as long as we've talked about it already.
I'll just verify. The first motion will die.
So the, yeah, 111 and 112 is showing his budget.
Which one's 111 is which one?
The 107, the one below it.
I was just making sure what he was looking at.
Oh,
Just opening it here.
Just making sure again.
So 111 should be the budget and 112 would be the levy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's in the paper then, paperwork then. All right, so I'll rescind my first motion on the tax levy. I'll make a new motion to approve resolution 2024-112 adopting the final tax levy for 2025 fiscal year.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call please.
All right. Teeks,
Aye.
Revisu,
yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Landite,
Aye.
Corman.
Aye.
So then you want the other one to be 111 then?
Correct.
That first one was 112, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my.
Yeah, I'm taking notes for her too.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-111 approval of the 2025 budget.
Second that.
Does anybody have any discussion on this one? Okay, roll call please.
Jones,
Aye.
Hendricks,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Teeks,
Aye.
Revisu,
Yes.
Landite,
Aye.
Mayor Corbin.
Aye. And then we'll close the public hearing,
That already was.
right?
You already,
Did we already close it?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you already closed
Before
that.
we did that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, with that being said, there's nobody I see in the audience to talk about something that is not on the agenda, so we will move on to the consent calendar.
Make a motion to approve the 2025 council minutes, approve municipal accounts payable and payroll without breakthrough beverage, approve the charter commission year-end report, approve the planning commission year-end report.
Second.
Somebody like to second that. Okay, we have a first and a second. Does anybody have any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I just have a question and comment about the report on the Charter Commission, the annual report, and I'm just wondering if there'd be any merit to, since we are the Charter Commission now, to actually have a meeting, maybe after we,
We talked about that, yep.
after this meeting so that we can at least be on record that we are active and we had an official meeting? I don't know, what is it?
We talked about it for January, making sure that we have a meeting in January, just to sit down and kind of go over some plans on, we do have a planning commission meeting in January that will be adding a couple of new faces. I think we'll be fully staffed there. We've asked a couple of them actually to look at the charter commission also. Right now, we have one person on the charter commission.
So we're okay not actually meeting during
Yeah, that's-
2024?
Yep, that's what it said.
All right.
We made
Okay.
that, we made that call, yes.
All right.
It's a good question though.
Okay.
That's a good comment. Okay, anybody else have anything? Roll call, please.
Keith?
Aye.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Hendricks?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Landay?
Aye.
Yes.
Mayor Corman?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable for Breakthrough Beverage.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
All right. Excuse me. Landay?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Hendricks?
Aye.
Arvizu?
Yes.
Keith?
Abstain.
Good catch.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Mayor Corman?
Aye. Does anybody have anything for mayor council communication tonight?
I've got one thought, Mayor. No, we didn't have anyone turn out for our public hearing on truth and taxation hearing, and I don't think we had anyone last year either. We've got a big night, an event tonight in the community, the Christmas Prelude concert, and last week, the first Monday of the month, we had the Tracy Elementary program, which involves a lot of families. I'm just wondering, thinking ahead to next year, could we consider having this truth and taxation hearing on a day that doesn't conflict with those two big school events? I mean, it happens every year, and just as a courtesy to the public, I'd just like us to consider that.
That's something I think we should consider.
We can take it down in the notes. You can see what, because you can, this is the last day that we could do it, yes. But we could have done it earlier though. And this isn't the one, this is just the levy itself that
Right.
you're approving, not the individual one if somebody wants to talk about their individual assessments or taxation, so, okay.
Well, that's the valuation, the Board of Equalization, that's the spring.
Right, that's the spring, yeah.
Anybody else have anything else? Well, I just want to remind the public that we will not be meeting. This is our last one for the year. Merry Christmas to everybody. From the Tracy City Council.
Yep, Happy New Year.
All right, Mayor, if we could move into new business, City Administrator, Resolution 2024-108.
You might want to look that.
I
think it might be 106.
Still have it up.
Is it
108.
It is 108.
In the packet, it's 106, the written one.
These are all correct on the agenda for these next
For these
three
for
items.
the next
Yeah,
one?
the other two.
The other two were that were off. So it is the 108, and we'll go over it tomorrow too when Diane gets here too. So the 2024-108 ordering corrective action. This would be the plan that we're going forward with a few of the households here in town. That's the address, the 453rd Street. We'll take the next step where they'll get served, and then there'll be 30 days, and then there'll be the possibility of taking them to district court on this one. So that's how far this one's gone. I will tell you on this one, it started to get cleaned up, but it's not where we need it to be. So we haven't had to take anything to court yet. but we need to move forward, and we need to do everything the same way on each one of them. Okay. Any questions on that at all?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-108, ordering the corrective action on 450 3rd Street.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Heinrichs,
Yeah.
Jones,
Aye.
Limelight,
Aye.
Eads,
Aye.
Arvisu,
Yes.
Mayor Corman.
Aye.
All right, Mayor, Resolution 2024-109, gambling permits for Southwest Great Divide. That would be your Rocky Mountain Association that's having a banquet at the Caboose in, I believe it's February, so.
Yep.
We'll make sure everything's paid up ahead of time, so.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-109.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Heinrichs, Jones,
Aye.
Eads,
Aye.
Arvisu,
Yes.
Limelight,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Mayor Corman.
Aye.
All right, last one we got on the list here, Resolution 2024-110, supporting requests for state bonding infrastructure improvements. So this is the same thing that we've gone over before. This would just be the next step in putting it in front of the council, just for the support part of it. We had a group of people that were here in front of the state legislatures here 2 Tuesdays ago, I suppose 2 weeks ago, yes, tomorrow. And we talked about lobbyists, and we talked about this building, we talked about infrastructure here within the city of Tracy. So we were kind of waiting for that town hall meeting before we put the resolution forward, because we wanted to talk to them about that. They were Seth's going to be able to tell you that they're kind of on the same page of what we've already been told. We have, it won't be until the next meeting, but we have a contract out there for a potential lobbyist, which was something that is budgeted out of that money. And it came in right at that. We didn't know exactly what that would be, but it came in at that the amount that we had budgeted. So it was kind of nice. So I have to be able to tell you that the name that they had brought up to us was Chris, and I won't be able, I'd butcher his last name, but they said if you want to get something done, or the best chance of getting something done, use this person and his firm. And that was the one that actually Bolly suggested that we used also. So we're gonna have some help here in the spring of bringing our case to the state legislature, see if we can get some bonding for this building and maybe some streets too. Even if it doesn't work this week or this year, we'll just move it over to the next one. Eventually, we'll get some help, we feel.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-110.
Second.
That.
Okay, any other discussion?
Who was the second on that?
There was two.
I fought for it.
Seth?
Give it to.
Russell?
All right, roll call, please.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Arvisu,
Yes.
Heinrichs,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Limelight,
Aye.
Eads,
Aye.
Mayor Corman.
Aye. All righty,